Hey, good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Wine stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick, and this is Drink with Rick episode 109. Yeah, 109. How about that? We're going to have an exciting show, so please join in the chat. This is Drink with Rick. This is a stream of consciousness kind of show. I do have some show notes, and I have them right here, as you well know, but I don't always follow them verbatim. In fact, sometimes I don't follow them much at all, because this show isn't really about me. It's about the wine, somewhat, but this is really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night, kicking back, relaxing with our favorite libations, whatever they may be, and having a great time, just chatting, just getting to know one another, and just having a good time. That's all. If you're just joining me for the first time or for the 109th time or any time in between, this show is available to be watched live. We're streaming it live on Facebook, on our Facebook page at Drink with Rick. Also on YouTube at Drink with Rick. On Twitter is at Drink with Rick, and also on Twitch. Twitch is Drink with Rick 1, Drink with Rick and the number 1. And we got it live on the website at drinkwithrick.com. The website is down below right here, drinkwithrick.com. I don't have a chat going there, but if you click on the post for that live feed going on right now, you can get some comments in the comment box there. You'll have a comment box pop up, put the comments in there, and I will respond in kind. It might not be immediately, but it'll be later on. I will respond. Also, you can email me at rick@savoyamedia.com, rick@savoyamedia.com with any of your feedback, your suggestions. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like about the show. Tell me what you'd like to see on the show. Tell me what you'd like to see me drinking. And if I can afford to get a bottle of it, maybe I can drink it too. I'd like to try it as well. Also, if you have a bottle of wine, if you're a vintner or whatever, you have a bottle of wine you'd like for me to review, just send it to me. Email me at rick@savoyamedia.com. I'll give you an address to send it to, and I promise I will give it a fair and honest review. Okay? Also, the podcast. Don't want to forget the podcast. Of course, we're here every Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. The podcast goes out at 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Monday nights. Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern. You can catch it here. You can go to drinkwithrick.com, subscribe to the podcast. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, your favorite Android device, Stitcher Radio, Blueberry.com, iHeartRadio, Deezer, Amazon Music, podcastindex.org, and by email. Now, this is interesting. If you click on the button, you go to the subscribe page, and click on the button by email, put your email address in the box, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick, the podcast, as soon as it drops. And no salesman will call. It's just that the email there is just for sending you the podcast, nothing else, okay? So, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here with me. Let me check the chats real quick. We have a big show coming up because I have a lot of birthdays. You know, last week we only had a few birthdays to toast. This week we had a lot of birthdays for April, a lot of birthdays. So I'm looking forward to toasting them. Hopefully this wine is a good one to toast with because we have a lot of birthdays to toast. And also some shout outs. I've got some shout outs to give to people who have done some really kind things for me that I really didn't expect, and I really do appreciate it. And I want to give them a few shout outs too. Also, I want to give away a book. This week. You know, this book that I reviewed a couple of weeks ago called Infinite Giving. And I want to give away a copy of it because I want to engage in some infinite giving myself by giving away. I want to start by giving away one of these books. So someone in the chat, hey, participate in the chat. And someone in the chat, I'll randomly pick during the show or towards the end of the show here to give away a book. Okay? And it's also an open chat, live open chat. So join in, and tell me what you're drinking. Tell me what you're not drinking. Tell me what you'd like to see me drinking. You know, let's just sit back and have a good time. So let me check the chat for just one moment, real quick, and let's see who we have in the chat. It is kind of quiet right there on Facebook at the moment, which is not surprising at the moment. Kind of quiet on YouTube. People tend to wander in because we're doing this at 10 on daylight time, which is Well, it's a little earlier, especially early on the West Coast. Beast on Gaming's in the chat on Twitch, and Beast on Gaming says, "Hey Rick," and hey right back at you. Beast on Gaming, it's great to see you here. And CM Cinder says, "Howdy do," and howdy do right back at you, CM Cinder. Glad you're here as well. And let me check. I don't know what to do about Twitter, really, to be honest. I don't really see much happening there, but people watch. Apparently, people watch on Twitter. So there you go. Have a good time. Enjoy it. All right, so let's take a look at this wine. This is what we're drinking tonight. What we're drinking tonight is a Les Peyrautins. A Les Peyrautins. This is a French wine from France, of all places. Yes, it is from France. I enjoy a good French wine, and hopefully I'll enjoy this one. Les Peyrautins. This is a Pinot Noir. This is a 2019 Pinot. And you know, if you've been watching or listening to the show for any period of time, you know that I love a good Pinot. And I could have used one at dinner tonight, but I didn't because I was saving it to drink with you. So this is what we're drinking tonight. And that's, let's see, that's the front of the bottle. Let me see if there's anything else I can read off the front of the bottle here while we have it up. And it's all in French. Les Peyrautins North Vignobles Reserves, Pinot Noir, Pays d'Oc. It's a product of France. Let me take a look at that. Let's take a look at the back. The back, there's more on the back, and hopefully some of it's in English because my French is terrible. Sorry, Mr. Chris, who was my French teacher in high school. My French is still terrible. It says Les Peyrautins Pinot Noir. It's imported by Artisan Enterprises, Greensboro, North Carolina. Product of France, red wine. It says, crafted according to our old tradition, this Pinot Noir has been imagined with modern techniques by our winemaker. The result is a perfect combination of the new and old world, offering a juicy wine, displaying all the Pinot Noir traditional aromas, black cherry, and vanilla hints. And it trails off. Vanilla hints, ... And there is 13% alcohol by volume, 13% ABV in this 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So I'm looking forward to trying this wine out tonight. This is going to be very cool. But before I do that, let me check the chats one more time. Let's go back to Facebook. Anything going on Facebook? Quiet on Facebook, unless, of course, that I'm missing something. You know, the thing is about the chats on Facebook, sometimes I don't see some of that popping up right away. So if you are chatting with me there and I don't see it right away, forgive me. Let me know you're there. Wave, raise your hand, wave. Let me know you're there. And I'll see if I can find a way to read your chat. Let's see what's going on in. Okay, quiet on YouTube and Twitch is there. And Beast on Gaming, tell me how your week was. How did your week go? CM Cinder, I know how your week was. We'll talk about that just a little bit in a little while. You know, the thing is about Twitter is that Twitter Media Studio, they switched over from just doing what they were doing before. They've got Twitter Media Studio, and supposedly there's a chat in there. I have not found it yet. Supposedly there's one. I don't see it. So I'm relying on Twitter proper to be able to see any notifications. So we'll see. You can just go to Twitter and just tweet me on Twitter at @DrinkWithRick, and it should pop up there. So let's go ahead and open up this bottle of Les Peyrautins. And this is going to be interesting. So to start off with, I have my trusty foil cutter here. Let's open it up with the foil cutter. Oops, kind of ripped it to pieces with the foil cutter there. Okay, there it goes. And, let me get that. Okay, this is my mechanical corkscrew, and we'll given to me by my lovely wife Chi over the holidays. Really nice gift, by the way. And it's been working fine so far, and it just worked fine again. Look at that. I will remove the cork later. Save some time here. And of course, to pour it, I have my trusty Veneto aerator from the Veneto Wine Lover set, available from Amazon.com. I don't know why I still promote them. Okay, I have my Amazon affiliate account for a little bit longer, maybe not much longer. Any day now they'll say, hey, we're cutting you off because we're not getting a lot of sales from you. Not getting enough sales. And then whatever sales I have made, I think they keep it or something. I don't know what they do with it. Never seen a dime. Never seen a dime. Anyway, but if you go to drinkwithrick.com and you're interested in one of these, you can purchase one from there. Just click on the affiliate link there, affiliate banner up the top, and if it's still there. If Amazon hasn't removed it yet, and then you can have one of these too. I really like these things. They have a couple about a year or so ago during the holidays. I'd like to do that again. Okay, and to hold the wine, I have my trusty Galway genuine Irish crystal glass from Ireland. It's genuine. Given to me by my employers at buy2wayradios.com. All right, so let's pour a little bit of this wine in here, just a little bit. Get things started. Nice color for this wine, yeah. Looks like a nice color, a deep ruby color. Looks nice so far. So we'll set this over here and let it open up just a little bit. And while it's doing that, let's learn a little bit more about this wine. Where's my mouse? Here it is. All right, so I checked around online to get some information on this wine. It wasn't too hard to find. It's not. Apparently, it's pretty well respected. It's a pretty well respected wine. I looked the Real View. I don't know how I found that. I was just Googling around. Said that it's a French bargain. Of course, that was their 2017. Is that what this is? 2019. But they said it was pretty decent, apparently. I'm going to close that because there's not much information on it. Let's see. Wine Store has it. I purchased this from Wine Store. My good friends at Wine Store, winestore-online.com. And they have it there, 2019 France. They say, supposedly, and I'm just reading this directly from their website, it's supposed to be the heartbreak grape. Most finicky of grapes, the Pinot Noir grape. And it's, with France's Pays d'Oc, there are places where it's easy to ripen grapes and areas that offer just enough challenge to coax Pinot Noir into showing its friendly and compelling side. And they're saying that this is an ideal example of that. And I'm paraphrasing them on that part. So their website says, now I was checking around price-wise, and Vivino has it too, actually. They gave it 3.7 stars out of 5. And they had the average price going on this bottle of wine it's $14.50. It said that that's an average of all the user-reported prices across the web. Now, Wine Store has it listed on their website for $12.99 for a bottle. And this, I'll tell you exactly what I paid for this bottle of wine, because I have the receipt right here from winestore-online.com. And I paid $12.99, the going rate on their website, the regular price for this bottle of wine. So, just to let you know, nobody cut me any deals on this. I didn't get a freebie on this one. So, my opinions are my own, and they're going to be honest. So, we'll see if we like this wine or not. Okay, they're going to be my own and honest anyway. And even if somebody gave me a free bottle of wine, just for full disclosure, that's how I roll. That's how I roll. And besides, the FTC requires that as well. So that's how I do things. And XX Yamarash XS says, hi, good morning, and good morning to you. It's great to see you in the chat. Tell me how you're doing. And do you like a Pinot Noir, like a good Pinot? That's what we're about to try right now. We're going to review it. And stick around because we're going to give away a book. One lucky winner in one of the chats here will give away a book, and I'm going to do it randomly towards the end of the show. So stick around. Tell your friends. Tell tell everyone on Twitch, I'm giving away a book today. And we'll see if we can give it away. I want to try to give it away last week, but I want to give it away this week. So please stick around. Maybe you'll win it. Okay, so let me check the other chats one more time. Okay, I'm going to hang around Twitch a little bit and see how everybody's doing there. I have been hanging around Twitch quite a bit lately, and I'll tell you all about that in just a little bit. But let's get back to the wine for just a moment. So this Pinot Noir, I have been told it's very cherry, and that's according to the label. That's what they have. I read the label to you earlier, but let's see just how cherry it is. Let's give it a whiff. Yeah, it is. It is cherry. Actually, it smells a little more like a cab than a Pinot, but it looks looks about right for Pinot. I've had some really dark Pinots and I've had some really light Pinots. This is sort of a medium-bodied wine. I wouldn't say this is a very full-bodied wine. It looks a medium-bodied to me from here. And under these lights, you can see a little bit of the color in there. So, and I'm getting, it smells a little oaky. Yeah, smells a little bit oaky. Or maybe that's my hand I'm smelling. No, maybe. Okay, let's give it a taste. Little sweet on the tongue. Wasn't expecting that. A little bit sweeter on the tongue. Not a big finish. It's kind of a light finish, and it tastes a light. This is kind of a Pinot, and what I would expect from a Pinot, just kind of sort of a medium-bodied, and it really it's kind of a light finish. I expected a little bit more of a medium finish from this Pinot, but it's kind of a light finish. Not a whole lot to it. There are tannins. It's not real tannic. It's somewhat medium tannin, but it is a dry wine. I mean, no doubt it is a dry wine. But it has a little sweet tinge on the tongue when you have your mouth closed. And as soon as you open it up and you take the swallow, that sweetness kind of goes away, and you can just tell how dry it is. There is some cherry in this wine. It does, not a surprise, cherry. But I was also tasting something else, a little slightly oaky. But let's have a little bit more so I can get another taste of this. And I'll see if maybe I missed something here. I'm sure I missed some things. Ooh. Okay, the cherry's there. I want to say there's some blackberry in this. Blackberry and maybe a hint of vanilla. Let's see. Slight twinge of strawberry, too. A very, very interesting mix of red and black fruit here. And yeah, maybe just a hint of vanilla. But it is a little bit oaky, but it's a nice tasting wine. I like it. The finish, like I said, I do like a lot of wines that have a long finish. This one does not have a really long finish. But it's a nice finish. It's kind of short and sweet. Well, not sweet, not literally sweet. I mean, it's just kind of short and, to the point, and it's done. All right, so that's interesting. That's an interesting wine. It should be interesting to pair it up with the foods that we have tonight, because, as you know, and as I've mentioned many times in the past, a Pinot Noir, if you're going to go out to dinner, or if you're going to have friends over for dinner or have a dinner party, a good Pinot Noir is a good choice to pair with foods, because it pairs with a wide range of foods. Pinot Noirs will pair with a lot of different foods, and we have an interesting selection of foods here that we're going to pair it with tonight. Let me show you what we're pairing it with tonight. As a matter of fact, camera 3 is on. On camera 3, we have. Hey, ignore that cupcake. Pay no attention to that cupcake in the middle. All right, we have some. Let me turn this around a little bit. All right, get to the other side. All right, so what we have here is we have three meats. We have a barbecue. The barbecues came from the Q Shack in Charlotte, North Carolina. We have the barbecue. What is this? This is steak, actually. This is the steak that my wife, my lovely wife, Chi, made this evening. It was a really good steak. But these two right here are the barbecue. We have a barbecue beef brisket, which was really good. We had the other night. And we had, yeah, they're all leftovers, folks. That's how I roll. All leftovers on this show. I can't afford to go out and buy a whole meal just for this show. Maybe one day, maybe. So, but this other item right here is a smoked beef sausage. Smoked beef sausage, which should be very interesting to try. And I think it'll go pretty well with this Pinot as well. I also have this Trader Joe's cheddar. We have, let's see, we have the Toscano with creamy coastal Syrah that we tried in the past. And we have this cheese called a Dubliner cheese from Ireland. So that should be very interesting to try. And we'll try that in just a couple of moments. But before we do that, let's go back and check the chats one more time. Let's see what we have going on, because I'm trying to pay attention to these chats here tonight, folks. I don't want to miss anything. I know I've done that a few times in the past. I don't like to do that. Let's check all the chats. Okay, I'm trying to stay on top of the chats, folks. That's how I roll. That's going to be my tagline for the night, right? Okay, let me make sure that everything is. Yeah, we're live on Facebook. I'm not sure if anybody else is, but we are. That's what's going on tonight, folks. Okay, I'm going to stay on Twitch for a while. Okay, let's go ahead and try pairing it with some of these foods, okay? So first of all, I've got, on camera 3, I'm going to try it with this wonderful steak that my lovely wife Chi made tonight. We had it for dinner. So we'll try it with this and see how it pairs with the steak. Still a good steak. A little on the cold side because it's been sitting up here for about 15-20 minutes, but it's still good. I'll try it with steak. Very good steak. This should go really well with the steak. Oh yeah, as I expected. And whatever she seasoned the steak with, and she cooked it. Didn't kill it. She cooked it. The cow was already killed when she got it, but she cooked it over an open grill, and she seasoned it very nicely, and it goes really well with this wine. I'm going to pour just a little bit more in here, and then we're going to try it with. We're going to try it with this. We're going to try it with the barbecue beef. This is the barbecue beef here, and still very good, even as leftovers. Very good. See how this goes out. Oh, not bad, not bad. And Nano X Echos is in the chat. Good to see you, Nano. And he says, no hablo inglés. It's quite all right. My Spanish is terrible as well, and I'm embarrassed to say. I took Spanish as well as French, and was terrible at both. I really need to brush up on both. I really do. But please stick around. Please stick around. If you're watching, I think on YouTube too, that you can, if you watch on YouTube as well, Drink with Rick on YouTube, they have the subtitles going there. They should have the subtitles if you click on it for the subtitles. They should be able to translate it in Spanish if you want to watch there as well. But please stick around and tell me how you're doing. We're going to try it with, well, I've got to clear my palate here a little bit, because I had two meats, didn't clear the palate. Clear the palate a little. And let's try it with this. Let's try it with the beef sausage. This is the beef sausage. Okay, see how it goes with that. I'm expecting this to work very well also. The beef sausage is good. Smoked. Also very good. It really, really brings out the smoky flavor of this sausage. It really does. If you've never had a barbecue beef sausage, it is amazing. It is amazing. It's very tender and it's very, it's just, words can't describe it. I have no words to describe it. I have no words either in English or in Espanol to describe how this tastes on its own. But it's really good with this wine, I have to say. Okay, so I'm going to clear the palate one more time. We'll try it with the cheeses. Stick around once again. We've got some birthdays to toast. And if you know of someone who's having a birthday, or if you're having a birthday, let me know about it. And I'll be happy to toast you as well. Let's see what we got here. I'm turning the platter around a little bit so I can reach the cheeses. Let's go from right here. Yeah, just ignore that cupcake in the middle. I'm trying to do that. I'm desperately trying to ignore that cupcake in the middle. Although I have a pretty good idea that before the show is over, I'm going to lose all control and have a piece of that because it looks so good. And my wife baked it fresh tonight. She baked it fresh tonight while I was doing my show notes and my show prep here. All right, so let's try it with the cheddar first. The cheddar should be good. I'm going to try it with the cheddar. And I might need to pour a little bit more wine for that. The cheddar. I have every confidence that this will work well with the cheddar. Works with the cheddar. And Nano, it says, bueno, mucho gracias. Well, you're welcome. Hey, de nada. De nada. Hey, stick around, please. I know, my Spanish is terrible, and I'm not trying to sound. I need to brush up on my Spanish and my French and my Italian because well, we've got some Italian wines we're going to be drinking here, and we have been drinking, and my Italian is pretty bad, and it's embarrassing. You know what? It's especially embarrassing for me because I have Italian blood in me. My grandparents are from northern Italy. They came here, they immigrated here to the United States in the early 20th century, and I should know more Italian than I do. They spoke it. They spoke it all the time. They spoke more Italian than English, and I had the opportunities to learn Italian, but the thing is, my dad 100% full-blooded Italian. My mom, she was a Southern Georgia gal, you know, and so we never really spoke it around the house, and my dad was not the type of person who was inclined to really teach us a lot of anything, much less Italian. He did not have the patience. He didn't really have the patience for kids, to be honest. He had 6 of them. 6 kids, and he didn't have the patience for kids. I'm not going there right now. But needless to say, I had a couple of opportunities to learn Italian from friends, and did not really get to learn the language. I would really like to do that. Now, my brother Mike, he's been all around. He knows Spanish. He knows Italian. He speaks Japanese very fluently, and I think he was learning Russian at some point. But that was my brother Michael. Anyway, I'm going to clear the palate again, and we're going to try it. We're going to try it with I believe this is the Toscana. Feels like the Toscana. I believe, is that right, Chi, if you're watching? I believe it's the Toscano. I'll know in a second. Yeah. This is a Toscano with creamy coastal Gouda. So that's what I'm drinking now, eating now with this. Okay, tart. It adds a little tartness to the Toscano with the Syrah in it. And that's okay. The Syrah is a nice wine. I would say I like it with the cheddar better so far. Cheddar better with cheddar. But the Toscano is not bad. It's not a bad pairing, actually. Not a bad pairing. Okay, so what do we have here? No, I do not have the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda tonight. Unfortunately, I believe we are out of the Trader Joe's Double Cream Gouda. Oh, that's where we have. I should have one of those sound effects things, Oh, yeah. The one that we love so much, and that has paired nicely with everything we tried, and has actually saved a couple of wines. What I do have, though, is this. This is a Dubliner from Ireland. We're going to give this a try. Never tried this cheese before, so it should be interesting. Let's see. Very interesting, kind of dry. All right, let's try it with a little bit of the wine. Very interesting flavor to this cheese. Not a bad cheese. And you know what? It pairs nicely with the Pinot. I gotta try that one more time. Let's try it one more time. Take two. The Dubliner or Dubliner? I don't know. Let's see. It's a nice cheese. Let's try it. Once again, I like it. Now it says, "Come on, estas." Somebody translate that for me. I'll tell you what. Let me. I would like to give that cheese one more try, but I think we're running out of time for that. So we got to get to we got a lot of birthdays to toast and some shout outs to do. So I got to get right to that, right? I have to get right to that. And we got to give away this book. Give away a book tonight. Let's see who else is in the chats everywhere else. Kind of quiet. I think Twitch is where it's happening tonight, at least for the time being. So let's get right to the birthdays because we have a lot of birthdays to toast. I'm going to cue the fireworks here. Cue the fireworks. Fireworks cued. Pour the wine. The wine is poured. And we'll be pouring more, I'm pretty sure, because we have a lot of birthdays to toast. The first birthday I want to toast, someone I toasted last week, because his birthday was on Friday yesterday, April 16th, 2021, which is Friday. His birthday was on Friday, so last weekend I toasted him early. I want to toast him again, just to make sure. That's for my good friend Mark. Mark, who is WOFL alumni. As you know, I worked at WOFL, Channel 35 in Orlando, Florida for many years, for about 12 years. And I worked with him for many, many years. He's a really, really nice guy. And we actually worked on I went on a couple of shoots with him. He worked in production and promotion, and we did a couple of shoots, I think, as I recall. And really, really cool guy. Anyway, Mark, here's to you. Happy, happy birthday. And may you have many, many, many more. Here's to my good friend Mark Drury. Now, new birthday today. You know, there are a lot of people who are having their birthdays today. Today is April 17th, 2021. And I have three people with birthdays today. Four. Four people with birthdays today, and I want to toast them all. First one goes to my good friend Maxwell Ivy Jr. Maxwell, he also known as the Blind Blogger, and he does a podcast called What's Your Excuse? Really fine podcast, and he's been in the running. You know, if you recall, a couple months ago, I told you how Max was in the running for it was actually a prize for being able to kind of like a scholarship, and it's basically to help do a project. He was in the running for, I think it was a $25,000 prize to do his project, and he was in the running with a lot of other people, and they're all blind. He's blind, but it doesn't stop him. He doesn't let it stop him. And all these people were blind, and it was I think the contest, they went down to, last I heard, he went down to the finals. And he announced the other day that he was in the finals. So for all of you who heard the call to action and went in and supported Maxwell, watched his video, his entry video, and liked it, which is really all you need to do, just like his video. For all those, I really, really appreciate it. Maxwell really, really appreciates it, and he's in the finals now. We'll see how it plays out. I'm not sure exactly when the finals begin, but we'll keep an eye on it, and I'll try to keep an eye on it and let you know. Anyway, here's to my good friend Maxwell, whose birthday is today. Here's to you, my good friend Maxwell. Happy, happy birthday, and may you have many, many, many more. To Maxwell Ivy Jr., the blind blogger. Check out his podcast called What's Your Excuse? And it's theblindblogger.com, I believe is his website, if I'm not mistaken. I have another birthday here. This is for my good friend Ross. His birthday is also today. Ross Brand, who is also a fellow podcaster and entrepreneur. And Ross, your birthday is today, April 17th, and I want to give you a happy birthday salute and cheers and a toast to my good friend Ross Brand. Happy, happy birthday. May you have many more. Many, many more. All right, I'm trying to go through these a little bit quick. I'm trying not to stall, to take too long on everybody because I'm toasting everyone because I have so many to toast, and I only have so much wine in this bottle, and there's only so much of my liver that my liver can take tonight. So please bear with me. Nana says, es mi cumpleaños. My English not good, siento. That's okay. That's okay. No problem. No problem. No worries. Don't worry about it. I'm just glad you're here. And the next birthday toast is for my good friend Paul. Paul, his birthday, your birthday, Paul, if you're watching now or later or listening later. Birthday, well, you know when your birthday is. So am I telling you when your birthday is, right? All right, Paul's birthday is tomorrow, the 18th, April 18th. Then that's this year, it's on a Sunday. That's not very far away, actually. Your birthday's not far away. Anyway, my good friend Paul, a fellow podcaster also. Now, Paul, interesting, I used to listen, I was an avid listener of his podcast way back when. Now, he is one of the old guard podcasters. I'm going to say the OGs, the old guard, the old guys like myself. I've been podcasting for almost 15 years. People have been doing it longer than me, but I've been around for about 15 years. People like my good friend Norbert Davis, who I've mentioned before, and Paul Muller, Paul R.J. Muller. That's who I'm talking about. His podcast was Caffeination, and I used to listen to that podcast a lot. I really enjoyed his podcast, and he's no longer, I think that podcast is no longer active, but his website's still up. You can still go to caffeination.com and listen to some of the old episodes. He did it for a long time, and always enjoyed it. And you know what? It was kind of an inspiration. His podcast about caffeination was sort of an inspiration because I love coffee too. Kind of an inspiration for me saying that I'm looking into doing a coffee version of Drink with Rick. Still looking at it, haven't launched it yet, but I'm still looking into doing that. Want to kind of roll that out a little bit differently than I did with Drink with Rick here. But anyway, Paul, a good friend and a fellow podcaster, known him way back when we started podcasting. And I believe he was part of the, I think he was part of the Tech Podcast Network as well. I think that's how I kind of met him through that. Anyway, Paul, your birthday tomorrow, April 18th, 2021. Here's to you. Happy, happy birthday, and may you have many, many, many more. For my friend, Paul R.J. Muller. All right, so I have a couple of other birthdays that I want to toast. One is kind of more of a memorial birthday. And I'm going to break away. I know Gary and Sherry, I have other birthdays to toast here. I'm going to break from this for just a minute. I want to give a special birthday toast to someone who is very, very special to our whole family. And before I do that, let me check the chats one more time. Kind of quiet on Facebook. And but I have a very special toast for a member of our family, my brother Tony. My brother Tony, he still has a memorial page up on Facebook. A very special guy. He was very, very special to our whole family. He's very special to a lot of other people. He had a lot of friends. Probably more friends than he realized he had when he was with us. He's no longer with us. But the thing is, he appreciated everybody. He was a guy who had a really good, kind heart. Wore his heart on his sleeve. But he was always thinking of other people. Just an amazing, amazing guy. A gentle person. A very gentle person. Warm-hearted. Fun-loving, but warm-hearted and generous. And I don't know what else I can say. That he was just one of the most amazing people I ever knew. One of the most amazing people I ever knew. And I am honored to have been his brother. And then we were growing up and we were younger. Yeah, sometimes I picked on him, as brothers do sometimes. But I had very early on, I had a time when my mom set me aside and she said to me, your brother Tony, you shouldn't pick on him so much. Your brother Tony is a special person, as you're all special. He said, we're all special. But your brother Tony, you should look at him from a slightly different angle than you are now, because he is more like you than you think. He says, you and Tony are very, very much alike in a lot of ways. And instead of teasing him so much, you should look at him from the perspective of someone who is very much like you. Now, my brothers, all my siblings and I, we were very different people. But it made me, when my mom said that, it made me stop and think. And I kind of stopped and I looked at Tony and I said, he is. There are a lot of things about Tony that are very much like what is in my heart. And I'll have to say, it humbled me. It really humbled me, because I realized at that point that Tony, even as young as he was at the time my mother gave me a little talking to, he was better than me. I looked at it from the point of view that, my brother Tony really is somebody that I should aspire to be more like than me trying to have him aspire to be like me. Because he had so many good qualities about him, and some qualities that, even though my mom said he and I were very much alike, we were both very, very sensitive kids, and wore our hearts on our sleeves, so to speak, and we cared about other people. But he, from looking at him from a different angle at that point, I realized just how much more so of that that he was than I was. And I realized, what, instead of my trying to get him to aspire to be more like me, I should be aspiring to be more like him. And that's how I see it today. My brother Tony passed away in 2006 after a long battle with cancer. And it was tough. It was tough on the whole family. It was tough on all of us. But I realized just who I really lost, who we all really lost at that point. He was such a special person. He had some qualities that I really did lack, that I really should have had, that I really should have, and that someone that I really, really should aspire to be more like. So I have tried I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect person by any sense of the word. But I was going to say, if there was anybody that I would want to aspire to be like it would be my brother Tony. I'll just put it simply there. Just like that. If it was anyone that I would want to aspire to be more like, it would be to be more like him. And my brother Tony was just an amazing guy. I have a picture of my brother Tony. This is me on the far left. On the far left, and in the podcast you can't see the photo, but I'm on the far left in the plaid shirt. My brother Tony, and you can tell the difference between us because here I am, sort of, I don't know. Well, I was on vacation. I was in California at the time. I think we were in Pasadena when this was taken, and of course I was kind of casually dressed, khakis and a plaid shirt, and my brother Tony, he's the dapper gentleman on the right, the dapper gentleman with the sunglasses and the tie, and that's how he rolled. He was just just a class act all the way around. Very suave, very cool. But the thing is, he didn't have any airs. He didn't, you know what I mean by airs? He didn't put on airs. He didn't try to be cool. He was cool without trying to be cool, without meaning to be cool. It's just the way he was. He was just a cool guy. And he didn't make any kind of a deal about it. That's just who he was. And he really put the emphasis, when he walked in the room, the emphasis wasn't on him. The emphasis was on you. He would walk up to people and he would put the emphasis on them. He would go out of his way to meet people and talk to people that he didn't even know and people that nobody else wanted to talk to. He would be the first person to walk in the room, go up to that person and meet them and draw them in. That's the kind of guy he was. He was just always very outgoing and always looking for someone to put up and make the center of attention rather than himself. And that was my brother Tony. Anyway, here's my brother Tony. My good brother Tony. His birthday was, he would have been 56 years old today. His birthday, April 18th, 1965. He passed away in 2006. To Tony, happy birthday. To my brother Tony Savoya. Anthony Albert Savoya was his full name. Tony Savoya. All right. Well, I know I went long on that. But he was somebody who was really, really special to all of us. I have a couple of other birthdays here to toast right around that time. My good friend Gary, his birthday's the next day. What's the 19th? 19th Monday. My good friend Gary, who is another WOFL alumni, his birthday is the 19th of April. My good friend Gary, who worked in the engineering department at WOFL, Channel 35, worked with him for a long time. Really, really super nice guy. Soft-spoken, really nice guy. And in some ways, he actually reminded me of my brother Tony, in some ways. Anyway, just a really cool guy. Anyway, here's to you, Gary. Happy, happy birthday, and may you have many, many, many more. Here's to Gary. Let me check the chat one more time. I'm going to check the chat here before I go any further with the birthdays. XVM04 says, greetings from Wolverhampton, and greetings from here. Where's Wolverhampton, by the way? XVM04, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for being here. Stick around, because we're going to give away a book a little bit. And the more in the chat, the merrier, and the more chances you have to win. Speak up, and we'll see who's going to win this book. Tom Antio says, enjoying some, Tom Antio's in the chat, of course. Good to see you, Tom Antio. He says, enjoying some dessert wine so I can drink with Rick. Well, here's to you, Tom Antio. Enjoy your dessert wine. Tell us what you're drinking, by the way. Tell us what you're drinking. CM Cinder says, that's a very pixelated Bob Ross. Where's that? Okay, I missed something there. Okay, so XVM04 is XVM04 says England. Okay, so you're from England. Well, welcome to to our brothers in England and our sisters in England. Welcome. I know folks from England, very, very nice people. And let me tell you something. England, it's hard to beat English TV. I am a big TV fan. Yeah, it's hard to beat English comedy, English TV comedy. And you know what? A lot of our comedies, there are a number of our comedies here in the States that were American versions of English comedies, okay? And sci-fi from England, and a lot of we've benefited so much from a lot of English actors as well. And so, and by the way, I want to say our condolences to the loss of Prince Philip. I want to say our condolences to Prince Philip. Here's to Prince Philip, by the way. And I'm not being flippant about that at all. We do highly respect the aristocracy in England. Okay, and we are saddened by the loss of Prince Philip, by the way. And the funeral was today, by the way. Oh, we watched a little bit of it. We watched part of the funeral. Couldn't watch the whole thing, but I watched part of it. Really, really sad event. But our condolences to the entire, to everyone there in England over the loss of Prince Philip. Tom Antio says, blueberry, okay, that's what you're drinking. Blueberry Stella Rosa. Blueberry Stella Rosa. I know, we had some of that at dinner, didn't we? Very good. I didn't have any. I think you guys did. I had a beer. You had a beer? Sacrilege. Beer? Aren't you a wine drinker? Yeah, I drink beers too. And Nano says, Abahel de la Bota. And, I'm going to try and look that up for just a moment. If I can. I don't know if I can click on it. Can I click on it? No, I can't at the moment. Where was I? Oh, yes, birthdays. I have another birthday to toast. For another good friend of mine. Let's see if she's in the chat and on Facebook. No? Facebook is really quiet tonight. I'm surprised. Very surprised. Usually we got a lot going on Facebook, and tonight it's Twitch that's really happening. So here is to my good friend Sherry, and best friends with my sister Gina. You know my sister Gina. She's another wine aficionado, as I am. A big fan of wines. And Gina's on the West Coast. Sherry's on the East Coast here, I think. Are you still on the East Coast, Sherry? But Sherry, we all grew up with Sherry. Went to church together for many years, and she and Sherry and my sister Gina were best friends, very best friends. I have been out on a couple of excursions with them to the beach once or twice, I think, at least once with them, and had a great time. And Sherry, this is when we were really, really young. When we were I think I was, I think they were still in college at the time, just kind of hanging around. And Sherry, your birthday is April 19th also, as Gary's is. I think that's Monday. Anyway, Sherry, here's to you, my good friend Sherry Tucker Colley. And she has a fine family, by the way. She has a fine family. Here's to Sherry Tucker Colley. Happy, happy birthday. And may you have many, many, many more. I hope you're all doing fine. I really do. I hope everybody's fine. There is one more birthday, or two more birthdays, actually. There are two more birthdays, and I missed that. This one's today. Birthday today. This was for my my grandniece. Yes, I am a grand uncle. I'm a grand uncle. Can't you tell? I'm a grand uncle. I have I have a grandnephew and a grandniece. My grandnephew is Alexander J. Balabalos. His younger sister is Avery Jade Balabalos. And Avery Jade turned 7 years old today. So I want to give my young grandniece, I want to say niece and grandniece, still my niece, just grandniece. That really ages me, doesn't it? Okay, I haven't seen them for a little while. I haven't seen them for a couple of years because we've all been sort of cooped up with the COVID. Hopefully we'll get to go down and visit them again soon. But really, really a sweet kid, and very quiet. She's very quiet, very, she's kind of, she's very quiet, but she's just adorable, and she's a smart kid from what I understand. She's very, very smart. Here is to my young grandniece, Avery Jade Balabalas, who just turned 7 years old today. Happy, happy birthday. And may you have many, 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 many more. Looking forward to seeing you all sometime very soon. There's one more birthday that I really I don't want to forget. I don't want to forget this birthday. And really, it's another birthday for someone who has passed, actually. This is for my friend Manuel. From Manuel. He's another Sherry knew Manuel. We all we all went to church together. But Manuel, good friends of the family. He and his family were good friends of our family. His son, William, and I were friends, and still are. I just haven't seen him for eons. I lost touch with him some time back. I really don't know what he's doing right now. But I am friends with his sister on Facebook, and Nancy. Yes, Nancy on Facebook. And I think their mother passed away some time back. But Manuel, when I knew him, when I was growing up and I knew him, he was the father of William and Nancy, and he was, at the time, he was a teacher, and they lived in Daytona. He was a teacher there, and he helped me out on so many different occasions. Very funny guy. He was a really funny guy, and he was one of those guys that, now my dad, he had his interesting circle of friends, but he and my dad got along pretty well, as I recall. And they would come over after church. They would come over and eat and have lunch with us after church, and they'd have a lot of interesting discussions. And he always, they always seemed to enjoy each other's company quite a bit. And later on, when I grew up, and left home, he helped me out on a couple occasions with my car. And things like that. So he was just a super nice guy. Very funny. I do remember he was short. He was very funny, but he was just a pretty cool guy all the way around. And I think later on in his life, he became a minister, I believe. And just a really, really cool guy. He passed away in 2019. And it was a loss for everybody. But his birthday is also today, because Facebook, he's still, his profile's still on Facebook, and so we know his birthday was today. Anyway, here's to Manuel Rojas, my friend Manuel Rojas. Happy birthday. Here's to Manuel. The thing is, I feel really awkward about doing these memorial birthdays because they're no longer with us, and sometimes I just don't know what to say. That's why I kind of went along with my brother Tony. They're all very special to me, and even though we've lost them and they passed away, and it's a little awkward celebrating birthdays for those who are no longer there to celebrate their birthdays with us. And no longer really having birthdays to speak of. And thank you, Google. Thank you, Google, for doing that, because Google does have a tendency to say, it's Marie Curie's 100 and some whatever birthday. Marie Curie's been dead for a long time, and things like that. It's Albert Einstein's 140th birthday or whatever it is. I'm just putting out numbers out there. I don't know how old they would be, but. And it's kind of awkward. It's just a little awkward, but I do want to honor their memories. I do, because these are people that Tony and and Manuel, people that I did care about, people that I do care about, that really touched my life and touched so many other lives, and I want to do them some sort of tribute. So that's that's what I'm doing. Uh, okay, so anyway, I want to give a few shout outs too while I'm here. Before I do that, let's get back to the chat. Let's see, what do we have here? Nano X says, Feliz cumpleaños. Hola XVMU from English. And let's see if there's anything going on Facebook. Quiet on Facebook still. Okay. And Ed, if you're watching, and you may be, if you're watching, please step in and say hi. By the way, I got your book, Ed. I just arrived late yesterday. My good friend Ed Anthony sent me a book, a really nice big book. 1001 Wines You Must Taste Before You Die. And it's a thick book. So 1001 Wines. So I have not had an opportunity to open up and read it yet. We just received it late yesterday afternoon. I haven't had a chance to time to sit down with it, but I do intend to sit down and read this, and I'll report back on it and tell you how that's going. It looks like a very, very interesting book. And Ed, you didn't have to do that, my friend. You really didn't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. Thank you very, very much for the book. I do look forward to reading this, and I will. I want to give a couple of shout outs, a few shout outs actually, to folks who have been very, very kind to me. And really, two of them on Twitch, as a matter of fact. On Twitch, now, as I mentioned before, I've been spending some time on Twitch, and I've been following a lot of people on Twitch. And as you know, that Square guy who I consider a friend, that on Twitch, he does a really, really fine, he does these Lego streams, the way he's putting together Lego kits, and they do cooking videos. He and Darcy do cooking videos, and he does some gaming on there. I've mentioned him many times before, and he's been in the chat quite a bit as well. A really, really cool guy. And he and Darcy, nice people both. And I really enjoy being in their chats. I really enjoy the opportunity to be part of the Square gang. And I have a mug. I don't have it up here right now. It's downstairs. I was drinking coffee out of it. But anyway, so I want to give a shout out to Adrian TN on Twitch, and I don't think Adrian's in here in the chat right now, but if you are, I want to give a shout out and a quick plug to you. I want to give a toast to you. Adrian TN gifted me a sub for that Square guy. Now, subs, for those who are not on Twitch, or not part of the Twitch platform, or part of the Twitch environment. A sub, it's like a subscription, but it's like a paid subscription. You get a month, and you pay for a monthly subscription to help support that Twitch streamer. And Adrian TN gifted me a sub for this month, for that Square guy, to the Square guy. And you didn't have to do that, Adrian. I honestly, you didn't have to do it, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much, and I want to thank you and give you a shout out. And here's a toast to you, Adrian. Thank you very much for the sub. I also have another shout out I want to give out to Ninelo. Is it Ninelo? Ninelo or Ninelo? Ninelo on Twitch gifted me a sub to another streamer, another Twitch streamer, who, this is really fascinating. I was actually told about this streamer. I think I was part of a raid onto Twitch from another stream one night. I think it was from that Square guy one night. And this lady, really cool, really fun stuff. This lady makes balloons. The balloons, she makes balloon art. And I'm talking about, how you've got the like the clowns and things like that that do the balloon art. They have the long balloons. They can make balloon art out of all kinds of things. There is a real art to this. And I didn't know this, but they even have competitions. They even have national and international competitions. People that get together, not all of them are clowns, but people that just do balloon art. They get together and make all this fantastic balloon art. And the balloons, and it's amazing to watch. Now she does this. This is Sharp Balloons. That's her. If you get a chance, go check out the Twitch channel, Sharp Balloons. It's a lot of fun to watch. She's a very funny lady. And she's very, very talented at what she does. Very nice lady, but she's very talented at this. And she has made some amazing balloon art, just amazing balloon art. And it's just fascinating to watch. Or she'll do it right there on camera. She just makes all this balloon art, and she'll put together all these kind of like scenes, kind of different scenes. I'm not sure how to describe this with these balloon characters. Balloon animals and people and objects and things like that, and these different characters. Fascinating to watch, a lot of fun. That is Sharp Balloons. Anyway, Nine Low, when I was in there visiting the first time, Nine Low gifted me a sub for this month of April to Sharp Balloons. And I want to say thank you to Nine Low, give them a shout out and say thank you. And here's a toast to you. Thank you I really do appreciate the sub. Thank you very much. Here's to Nine Low. XVM04 says, do you have Instagram? And I'm not sure if he's talking to me or if he's talking to Nano X Echo ZZ. And Nano says, Abajo de la Botella. XVM04 says, do you have Instagram? Yes, I do have, or if you're talking to me, I don't know if you're talking to Nano or me, but if you're talking to me, yes, I do have Instagram. Instagram is Drink with Rick also. So it's I do have an Instagram account. And you can check it out. And I do have pictures of the wines, like this one right here, pictures of the wine. This one that we're drinking tonight is the Les Peyrautins. This is a Pinot Noir from France. And that's about the extent of my French, because my French is horrible. Almost as bad as my Spanish. My apologies to Nano. But it's a 2019 very good wine so far. I'll give you my final review at the end of the show, but this is what we're doing so far. It's not bad. I've been on one camera for so long. But let's see what else we got here. Okay, I want to do the... Oh, it's still on the fireworks? Okay, fireworks. All right, I want to give one more. I want to give a shout out. I've got the fireworks going. I want to give a shout out to Frank. Frank, who bought me coffee. Actually, he $15. He bought me coffee. Bought me 5 coffees. I think is that how he did it. But I want to thank Frank. You didn't have to do that, but I really, really appreciate it. To Frank, this is to Frank Ramin. Thank you very, very much. Much appreciated for the buying me a coffees. I do appreciate it. And just to let you know, every penny of that goes back into the giveaways and the prizes and things like that on Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. Just to let you know that that's where that goes. Thank you very much. Here's to Frank. And while I'm on the subject, I want to give a quick... let you know that you can. There is currently a. Let me switch this back here. There we go. There is currently a contest going on right now. If you go to howtopickawine.com, I've got this up right here somewhere. Yes, I do. So this is actually Frank's website, for full disclosure. And I'm not doing this because Frank gave me the money. I'm doing this because I think it's of interest to everybody. You can have a chance to win a free bottle of wine. This is pretty much a wine giveaway. You can win a free bottle of wine. I'm going to tell you how to do this. For the month of April 2021, How to Pick a Wine. That's howtopickawine.com is giving away a free bottle of wine. You can win a free bottle of wine. To do this, you have to get 4 entries. Do them all to get 4 entries. The 4 ways to get an entry, I think there are 4 different entries, and the way that you can enter is 1, join the group, How to Pick a Wine, and there are 2 Facebook groups. There's How to Pick a Wine, and there is Italian Wines, Food, Travel, and Culture. That's a long name for a group, but yeah, Italian Wines, Food, Travel, and Culture is the second group. So you join the groups. The second entry, you follow them on Instagram. Follow How to Pick a Wine on Instagram. So they have an Instagram at How to Pick a Wine. It's all one word. Go down, if you go to howtopickawine.com, you can scroll down to the bottom to subscribe to my blog via email, and subscribe to his blog via email. That's the third entry. The fourth entry is to hit like on his post. Hit like on his post. I believe I'm assuming it's the post for this and the wine giveaway post that I have actually pulled up. Now, he does say that if you're already doing all of those things, if you're doing all of that, send him a private message with your name and he'll enter you into the drawing. So if you're already doing those things, or if you've entered, because he's done these contests, I think he did one in January and February and March, I know he did one in February and March, I'm not sure about January, but if you do this for April, if you've already done that for the previous contest, send him a private message and say you want to enter your name in for the April giveaway, and he'll enter you. He'll do that. Anyway, check it out, howtopickawine.com. And for full disclosure, once again, I was going to give him this plug anyway. So he did contribute to How to Pick he did contribute to buy me coffee. He did buy me coffee, but I was giving him that anyway, and it's much appreciated, by the way. So that's what I've got for that. Now, we've got the national days, right? We've got the national days. I haven't been on camera too much here. Yeah. Okay, there we are. I've got the national days. So we're going to do the national days. We've got some national days here. Let me check the chat one more time. Everybody having a good time? Good. Who wants to win a book? We'll see how that shakes out. In the last few minutes, we're going to give away a book. We got folks in the chat. We're going to give away a book. Okay? I have a good feeling about this. We need some more people on... we got folks watching on Facebook. Nobody's saying anything. No comment. Are there comments? Inside the comments? Am I missing the comments on Facebook, or is it just not working for me tonight? The comments are not working for me, apparently. Let me see. We got folks... Oh, wait. Here we go. I'm missing it because they're on the... Oh, my goodness. Okay. Ed's in the chat. Ed's in the chat. My wife's Chi in the chat. How come nothing is showing up on this? No, that's just weird. That's just really weird. Okay, let me switch over here for just a moment. Sorry about that, folks, but apparently the chat isn't working on my Facebook stream page. But we do have folks in the chat. So my apologies to everyone in the chat who's been watching in the chat, but it's not showing up for me. I'm finding it's on my personal page, so there it is. And my good friend Ed is in the chat. My lovely wife Chi is in the chat, and she says it's a vegan cupcake. Thank you. I know I missed this. This was some time ago. Ed's responding to Chi, and he says the cupcake eats no meat. She says a vegan cupcake. He says the cupcake eats no meat. I don't think that's exactly what she meant, but very funny, Ed. Ed says Facebook is not quiet to me, and then he says a death doesn't end a... Okay, wait a minute. I think I have something coming here. Ed says a death doesn't end a relationship. That thought helped me when my mom was recently deceased. Ed, thank you. I really appreciate that. Because a death doesn't end a relationship. It just means they're napping. They're just taking a sleep. I believe that we're not going to. It's not the end. It's not the end. It's just an interim between the next phase, right? And then we don't talk about politics, we don't talk about religion in the chat, but that's just my personal belief. I don't think that death is the end. I really, really don't. So, yeah, that's just a personal belief I have. And Ed says, a death doesn't end a relationship. That thought helped me when my mom was recently deceased. And yes, it helped me out when my mom passed away, when my dad passed away, when my brother Tony passed away, Manuel, when he passed away, and so many other people that we've lost have passed away. Look, I have lost friends from COVID. I recently found out that one of someone I knew, his name was Bob, who I knew way back, sometime back when I worked in IT, he recently passed away from COVID. And it's a tragic thing, and I was really sad to hear that. I've lost a lot of people in my life, and it's been a comfort that it's difficult sometimes. Apparently, the closer they are to you, the more difficult it is. Of course, well, that goes without saying. But of course, as you know, I lost my nephew a few years ago. Avery Jade, who I just toasted tonight, who just turned 7 years old. Her dad, Lester, was killed by a drunk driver. That's one reason why at the end of the show, I always say, do not drink and drive. This is one of the reasons, because I'm very sensitive to that. My nephew, Lester, was killed by a drunk driver on his way home from work. And it happened on the expressway in Orlando. And this was a few years ago. And we're still not completely all recovered from that. And I miss Lester terribly. He was a really, really cool guy. And I've talked about him a lot on the show in the past. I have talked about him quite a bit. But that was his daughter, Avery Jade, who just turned 7 today. The thing is that those are one of the things that give me some comfort. We're losing people that we have known and cared about and loved. That there'll be some time in the future that we'll all see them again. We'll all be together again. That does bring me some comfort, and it should. It's and like I said, there are people that believe that death is the end. Death is the end. It's no more. It's all gone. It's all done. And the end. I mean, and like I said, I'm not into religion. I'm not trying to be religious about this. I'm not giving sermons or anything like that. I think, though, that that's sort of. You believe what you want to believe. That's fine. That's your prerogative. But I think that you kind of have to have some faith. You have to have some hope. Otherwise, the life really doesn't have any meaning on its own, does it? And I'm not trying to wax philosophical here, and I'm trying to not get too deep on it, but it's something I've thought about quite a bit. And it's something that, to find some comfort in this world for those that we've lost, it's just something to hold on to, and it's something to hang on to. And I think it's very important to do that. It's important to do that. Does any of that make any sense? Maybe to some people it doesn't, but to me it does. I think it's important to have that faith and to have that hope. Otherwise, what's the point of doing all this anyway? There is more to life than just being born, living, and dying. There's a lot more to that. There is. And that's my belief. I truly believe that we are not just organisms that are born, live, and die. Okay? There's a lot more to this. And I think having that hope and having that faith is part of it. I think it's a piece of that. I hope that makes some sense. Anyway, so going back here, yeah, it seems like Facebook is. Where was I? Oh, yes, national days. Let's do the national days because it's starting to get a little bit late here. National days. Okay, well, I need my national day background. Here we go. National days. I don't know why I picked that. I just did. Something, special effects. People ask me, hey, how'd you do that? Oh, special effects. Let me pour a little more wine here. Special effects. Okay, so national days. Here are the national days for today. Not much longer, for about another half hour or so. National Day. Today, April 17th, is National Crawfish Day. National Crawfish Day. Not really enough crawfish. Some people know them as crayfish. If you ever watch the Beverly Hillbillies, which I'm a big fan of, well, fan, it's a fanatic. I like Beverly Hillbillies, okay? I'm not a fanatic of anything, but I do like the Beverly Hillbillies. National Crawfish Day. They call them crawdads. Get you some crawdads. Okay, crawdads. National Crawdad Day. International Bat Appreciation Day. Now, I have a problem with this one. Okay, I know that bats perform an important function in nature. They do. The bats perform an important function in nature. But one of the things I heard was that that's how this whole COVID thing came around. Is it was a derivative of something from bats. Now, I don't know how true that is. I really don't know, and I'm not getting into political discussion on that. Not going anywhere near that. I don't know. Okay? I do know this, though. Bats are, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of bats. Fanatic. I don't like bats too much myself, but they perform an important function in nature. Okay. National Cheese Ball Day is also today. Today is National Cheese Ball Day. You like cheese balls? Cheese balls. Okay. National Ellis Island Family History Day. I'll drink to that. You know, a lot of people passed through Ellis Island to emigrate here to the United States, especially between the late 1800s and the early 1900s. My family, my grandparents on my father's side, I mentioned before that I am of Italian descent, and my grandparents came over at different times, but they all came over and they went through Ellis Island to immigrate here to the United States. So I'll drink to that. National Ellis Island Family History Day. Okay. Nano says, Siento haber querido decir que mi cumpleaños es en mayo. Where was I? Okay, the national days. Today is also National Haiku Poetry Day. I'm glad I got this before it got to be midnight, because then it wouldn't be April 17th anymore, right? National Haiku Poetry Day. Who wasn't made by their teacher, their English teacher, their writing teacher, whatever it was, to learn how to write haikus in school, right? Haikus, they are it's from Japan, right? It's a Japanese haiku, it's a Japanese poetry, right? Apparently, that's how I learned it, haiku. Far Eastern poetry. And haikus are fun. Haikus are fun. A lot of poetry, and there's a lot of art. There really is a lot of art to a haiku. Now, in honor of National Haiku Poetry Day, I have prepared 3 haikus just for this show. And you're going to hear them right now after I drink this wine. Okay, I have a haiku. Make a wine haiku. I'm drinking while I'm writing it. Oh, excuse me. Make a wine haiku. I'm drinking while I write it. Tasting Pinot Noir. All right, doesn't that work? It's 575. I think they don't. I think it varies. I think the rules of writing a haiku vary because I've seen haikus that only have like 3 syllables at the end, and I think the American haikus. I'm following the American haiku, okay, and it's 575, right? 5 syllables in the first line, 7 syllables on the second, and 5 syllables on the third. But I think it varies because I've seen some that have like 5 syllables and 5 syllables and 3 and 5 and 7 and 3 and 3 and 5, 7 and 5 and all that kind of stuff. It varies. I'm not really sure. The rules seem a little fuzzy to me on the haiku thing. It really does. But I'm trying to follow the rules of American haiku, okay? English haiku, if you will. Okay? XVMO4, he says cheers, by the way, and cheers right back at you. Is that how it works in England? You do haikus in England at all? Is it 575 there also? I mean, here in America, it's we follow the 575 rule. I have a second wine haiku. Okay, here goes. Ready? Okay. Second wine haiku. I'm writing while I'm drinking. Better with Merlot. That was my second wine haiku. And Nano says, salud. Thank you. Salud. I know what that means. Salud. Okay, I have one more haiku. Let's see if we can do this. This is haiku number 3. And it's called haiku number 3. Haiku number 3. I'm drinking while I'm thinking. Quit while I'm ahead. That's my third haiku. What do you think? I don't know. Did I break the rules on haikus? I don't know. But those were my 3 haikus. I don't have any more. But I will have some more of this. Here's a haiku. Here's the National Haiku Poetry Day, by the way. How'd I do? Were my haikus bad? Let me know. Ed, you like haikus. You love poetry. How was that bad? Was it that bad? Ed says Japanese language counts syllables differently. I think you're right. I think you are correct. Japanese language counts syllables differently from American. That's why I was trying to follow the American haikus rather than the Japanese haikus. And also, of course, things get lost in the translation. So when you translate, from Japanese, when you translate the haiku from Japanese to English, you may lose or gain a syllable or two because you're basically using different words with different syllables. So that's. But I think overall, I think you're correct. Japanese language counts the syllables differently. I think it does. See, there's my good friend Ed. He's there helping me out with this. He's Nano says perfecto. Well, thank you, Nano. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. So what do we have left on National Days? National Days. Today is National Auctioneers Day. It's the 3rd Saturday in April. National Auctioneers Day. Have you ever been to an auction? It's always kind of interesting. I don't know how they do it. And they go to school to do that. When they go to 5 and I don't know what they're saying. I have no idea. But it's going so fast, and the barker, the auctioneer, it's just amazing how he can do that. I can't talk that fast. I've seen people talk that fast. I've watched people on Facebook. Not Facebook, YouTube talk that fast. I don't know how they do it. I really can't. My mind doesn't move that fast, much less my tongue. But you have these auctioneers that can really, really do that, and apparently they go to school for that. They learn how to do that, and that's my understanding. They have to. I guess they really have to practice. So National Auctioneers Day, 3rd Saturday in April. I think the last time I went to an auction was back in, it was when we were still in, I want to say United States. Yeah, we're always in the United States. Back when we were in Florida, thank you. The wine's starting to kick in, yes. It's 13% alcohol by volume, folks, by the way. So when we were living in Orlando, my wife, she and I went to a few auctions. We go to the auctions. I think we've been there a few times to see if we could, just for fun, and see if we could pick up anything at auction. I don't think we ever won anything at an auction. We never really got, but we participated. We were at the auctions and we would participate in the auctions. To give us the little card and you'd hold it up if Well, we did that a few times, and it was fun. It was a lot of fun. It was a very interesting experience, but it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We didn't win anything, did we, Chi? I don't remember. I don't remember what we did. If we did, it was something that was very memorable because I don't remember it. So, National Auctioneers Day, third Saturday in April. April 18th, that's tomorrow in about 24 minutes. April 18th is National Animal Crackers Day. National Animal Crackers Day. I like animal crackers. You like animal crackers? You know what? They've gotten really in recent years. Is it PETA that's done that? PETA? I don't know what to call them. PETA in this country. The people for the ethical treatment of animals. Yeah, those people. The people for the people for the eating of tasty animals or whatever they call themselves. Okay, it's a joke. It's a joke. Okay, it's a joke. Don't get. People are so sensitive these days. It's a joke. You have to preface everything with the following is a joke before you make the joke. Otherwise, you get you get raked over the coals by the woke crowd, or what they call the woke. I don't know where they came from. The woke crowd. It's a joke, okay? And the PETA people, whatever, they come after you saying you made a joke about animals. Okay. Anyway, so where was I going with this? I don't know. Anyway, so Animal Crackers Day. You know what I know about animal crackers? Up until a few years ago, I remember when I was a kid. Do you remember this? The little box of animal crackers you went to school with. They were great. They were kind of plain tasting, but they were still kind of tasty. At least they weren't saltines, right? They weren't little saltine crackers. They were, it tasted a little bit more like cookies and crackers, but they were still crackers, but it was still fun to eat. And before you knew it, you'd finish the box. A little box of animal crackers with the little, looked like a shoelace, right? The little handle that they would put at the top. It looked like a shoelace, and it probably was. They just take shoelaces and tie them together and say, hey, here's our animal crackers. Little box. But back then in the day, when I was a kid, and up until I think about a few years ago, they made these animal cracker boxes with pictures of circus animals, right? They had a picture. It looked like a box car for a train box car with the bars in it, and you'd have the circus animals. You have the lions and the tigers and the bear. I don't know if they had bears, but they had lions and tigers and chimpanzees and all kinds of weird. Weird. A little animals in there. And I said, okay, PETA. I said weird. I didn't mean weird. Okay, I just said it. It's just something I say. Little animals in there, okay? Some of them were big animals. But they were all little because they were on the box, okay? So, I'm really boxing myself in a corner, aren't I? Let's see what I did there. So, back in the day, they had the circus animals, right? Who remembers that? I remember it, and up until a few years ago, that's what they had. That's what they did, the circus animals. I think up until a couple of years ago, you could probably still find them at the local Food Lion or something. Okay, I don't know. But I have no idea. I don't shop at Food Lion anymore much. I didn't say that, by the way. Food Lion has been good to us. They gave us some free prizes to give away on the wine stream in the past. They were very nice. Food Lion's great, okay? It's just a joke. Okay, so anyway, that corner is just getting closed in on me. Painted myself in the corner. All right, so where was it going with this? The circus animals, the animals, the animal crackers, right? Up until a few years ago, that's how they did it, right? They had them on the little boxes and the little box cars with the circuit animals in them, and that was all fine and good. All of a sudden, PETA or PETA or whatever they call themselves got involved, and they said, this is cruelty to animals. This is degrading to animals. Degrading to animals. Okay, so I've got a drawing of a picture of an animal, of a lion, ferocious lion, man-eating lion, behind bars on a box of crackers. And this is cruel to the animals. This is degrading the lions. I have a question for you. Go ask any lion. Go out in the Serengeti and ask any lion if they felt slighted or they felt they were being that we were being cruel to them by drawing a picture of a lion on a box of animal crackers sold in a supermarket. I will tell you that that lion would not only not even answer the question, they would probably eat you before they would answer the question. Ferocious lions, and I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that. Okay, all right. So this is this is where we are with political correctness in this day. So you can't have a box of animal crackers. Now they've got, the last I heard, they had a box of animal crackers, and they're all roaming free. They're all free range, like roaming around or something. I think that's what I heard. I haven't seen one in a while, so I don't know. Somebody can tell me, check in and tell me, let me know. But they're all kind of free roaming around on the range, and they're not in the cages anymore, in the box cars or the trains, and they're animal crackers. Now, let me ask you this. If you get a box of animal crackers with the lions and tigers and bears roaming around live on the range, and you open this box of animal crackers, what are you going to do? You're going to eat the animal crackers, right? So what's next on the agenda? For once the PETA, whatever they call it, has found out that, hey, we have the power to get rid of the bars and the box cars. The next thing is to get rid of the animal crackers. Did I give them an idea? I don't know. Get rid of the animal crackers. The crackers! I don't understand this stuff at all. I really do not get this stuff at all. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. But maybe it's not supposed to, I guess. I don't know, maybe it's not supposed to. Anyway, so here's to, where were we? Here's to National. See, you got me started. You got me started. It was supposed to be an hour and 10-minute show, and I'm running along here because I got on the animal cracker thing. Next thing you know, I'll be banned on YouTube and Twitter and Twitch and whatever because I defamation against wild animals or something. I don't know. Whatever. National Animal Cracker Day. Okay, it's also April 18th is also National Columnist Day and National Lineman Appreciation Day. Do you appreciate your lineman? You know what a lineman is? You should. You should. Everybody should know what a lineman is. It's very important. We all have the benefits of linemen. We all benefit from what the linemen do. And if you don't know, then I'm going to tell you right now. Ed says, oh wow, Ed's been busy here. Ed says, famous last line translate as plop or splash and then quiet. In Japanese, the line is misu no oto. It means water sound. And in parentheses, it says has to do with a frog and a pond. Okay, I didn't know that. Plop translates as a plop or a splash. It did not know that. Ed says cage drawn on the box. Yes, the cage was drawn on the box, and Ed says they might say roar. And they might say roar. Yeah, just the lion might say roar. That would be his response just before he eats you. If you okay, it's eat or be eaten. Either stay home, either go to the lion and quiz him on the animal crackers, or just stay home and eat the animal crackers. Because if you go there, I guarantee you, the lion's going to be eating you instead of you eating the lion-shaped animal cracker. It's not even a real lion. It's a drawing. It's a cracker. It's, I don't know. XVMO4 says, will do you like football or soccer? Football or soccer? I like football and I like soccer. Well, okay, I don't follow football that closely, but we have a football team here. Football now, of course, football in England is soccer. Here it's football. It's a different thing, but we do have soccer too. And this is actually kind of cool. Okay, we have a football team in Charlotte. We have the Panthers. We have the Carolina Panthers, in which I do watch Panther games sometimes. I'm not a fanatic, although I know people who are fanatics or fans. But I do like to watch a Panthers game every once in a while. It's kind of fun. We'll sit down and watch a Panthers game, just like I like to watch NASCAR. Actually, I like to watch NASCAR a little bit more, to be honest. But I do like to watch a Panthers game from time to time. So, where was I going with this? Oh, yes, soccer. So you asked me about soccer, and soccer, Tom Antio says, I played soccer in high school. It was fun. And yes, he did. And I went to some of his soccer games, and it was fun to watch. It was fun to watch. I played a little bit of soccer just for fun and like PE, and when I was in high school, and it was fun. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. Soccer, though, is what you would call football in England, in Europe, and in most other countries. We have to be weird, don't we? Every other country that's call it soccer, or they call it football, and FUTBALL or FUTBOL. Actually, no. I think in Spanish it would be football, FUTBOL, right? I think it's a spelling. But here in America we call it soccer, and of course we have a National Soccer League. And we just got the green light last year. We've had people that, as a matter of fact, the folks that had were the person who bought the Panthers a couple of years ago also expressed an interest in bringing soccer to Charlotte. So this past year they said, I got approval, and said, hey, we're bringing soccer to Charlotte. So we're getting a soccer team in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we're going to have a soccer team now, which is really cool. Because actually, I'd rather watch soccer than football. Between you and me, if I had my preference, I'd rather watch soccer. And I think it's pretty exciting. We're getting a soccer team in Charlotte. Very cool. Very cool stuff. Of course, we're all going to be paying for it. But if we weren't paying for that, we'd be paying for something else, something useless like a train to nowhere or something that they do here in the city. Something that we would wind up paying for. We live south of Charlotte. We don't live actually in Charlotte proper, but we're part of Charlotte. So even though we don't get the benefits of all the taxes that we pay to Charlotte, the Queen City, the Charlotte Uptown, the Uptown crowd as they're called. They call it downtown, they call it Uptown. So we don't get the benefits of the Uptown, of what's going on Uptown, but we have to pay the taxes. There you go. So now you can see why we're not really all that excited about some of the things they do in Uptown Charlotte. Because it's like, oh, great, another tax we have to pay, but we're not going to see any benefit from. And we don't. We really don't. So anyway, that's me going off again. I really, when I get my tax bill, and my wife and I are going to be doing our taxes tomorrow, and it's like it's makes think. Why did we move here again? I don't know. So CM Sender says American football should instead be called hand a lemon. Hand a lemon. It kind of looks like a lemon, doesn't it? Well, no, it doesn't look like a lemon. It looks like it looks like a one of those sour lemons, right? Kind of shaped like a sour lemon. We should call it Arnold. Arnold, right? American foot. I know I'm not talking about Arnold the pig from Green Acres. I'm talking about Arnold. Remember that show, Hey Arnold, that cartoon show? The kid's head was shaped like a football. I mean, literally, the kid's head was shaped like a football. We should just call it Hey Arnold, right? Nano says, "Mi gusto el football." Right. You love football. That's and American football or soccer. You like soccer, right? XVMO4 says, "Do you like any English teams?" I'll be honest. I haven't really studied a lot of the English teams, to be honest. Soccer is new here. It really is. I mean, even though there are people that like soccer in general as a sport is kind of new compared to football, American football, I should say. Hey Arnold football. So anyway, to be honest, I really don't know the English teams. They're still organizing it here, so I've got a lot of American teams to organize. Ed says, I have a box of animal crackers. I hope they are fresh enough now that I'm suddenly hungry for them. Isn't that the way it works, Ed? Isn't that the way it works? Chi and I it happens all the time. So Chi and I are watching late night. We're watching Pluto TV. We don't watch a whole lot of over-the-air TV anymore. We don't watch the news anymore, actually. But we're watching Pluto TV on the internet and streamed over on the Roku because we have a Roku upstairs. And we've been watching a lot of episodes of Mission Impossible, the original series, the real Mission Impossible, not that Tom Cruise fakery thing called Mission Impossible, the real Mission Impossible TV show. And they've been running commercials. They'll run commercials like late night. It'll be like 12:30 at night or 1 in the morning or something. We're drifting off to sleep and we're watching Mission Impossible, an episode, and then they'll run some commercials in between. They'll run a commercial for McDonald's. Now, I'm not a big fanatic of McDonald's, right? Big fan. I'm not crazy about McDonald's, but I have eaten at McDonald's on occasion, yeah. Yep. So, but McDonald's. One thing I do like at McDonald's is I like their chicken sandwich. One, because with a little mayo on it and a little thin piece of old lettuce that's been under the hot lamp for 30 minutes, even though they're only supposed to keep it under there for like 10, so it's all wilted. And but it still tastes kind of good, and it's cheap. The best part about it is it's cheap, right? But I kind of like that chicken sandwich. But I haven't had one for a while. So they'll put on these ads for the chicken sandwich at McDonald's. And I'm sitting here at 1 in the morning and I'm like, I'm in the mood. We're watching the commercial. And right after the commercial's done, we go back to Mission Impossible. I'm like, I'm in the mood for a chicken sandwich. And my wife looks at me funny and she's like, you're so gullible. And then 10 minutes later, they'll run an ad for something else, for some other food, like chips or something. And she goes, and after that ad's done, she goes, I'm kind of hungry. I'm going to go down and have some chips or something. Right. Who's the gullible one now? Yeah, I know it's subliminal, but it works. It really does work. And as you know, the sandwiches and stuff always look better on the commercials than they do when you actually get them. They don't look anything like what they did in the commercial, right? Okay, Admiral Durakovic is in the chat on YouTube. And good to see you, Admir Durakovic. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Admir Durakovic says, I study poetry, and most haikus are about poetry and self-retrospective. They're fine. They are, in fact, haikus. Okay, so here's the thing. It's really not, what you're saying is it's really not about the mechanics of the haiku. Is that what you're saying, Admir Durakovic? It's not so much about the mechanics of the haiku. It's really more about the poetry and the self-retrospective, about the heart behind it, is what you're saying, right? And I appreciate that. Admir Durakovic says, not about poetry, about nature. Okay, so it's about nature. And he says, oh, I've seen this years ago on what they're saying. It's gibberish. Oh, and then now he's talking about, I think, the... Okay, he says, oh, I've seen this years ago on what they're saying. It's gibberish. It's meant to sound like nothing to stress you into bidding. Your brain is trying to decipher what this guy's saying in pricing. He's talking about the... I know, I'm having to catch up. I apologize for that. I'm having to catch up on the chat. Some of these chats tonight, I don't know what's going on here, but some of the chats are kind of hanging up a little bit for me. I don't know what happened with Facebook. The Facebook chat, I had to go over to another screen to see some of those, and I apologize for that, folks. It's just I don't know what's going on with the chats tonight. Just some of them are hanging up on me. But Admir Durakovic is talking about the what we were talking about earlier with the what were we talking about? Yeah, the wine's kicking it. Let's go back here for a second. I lost my place here. Okay, the Auctioneer's Day. Auctioneer's Day, thank you. Auctioneers. I don't know who was saying thank you to. It was just me. Yeah, right. And he says, so he's saying, talking about the auctioneer, he says, I've seen this years ago, and what they're saying, it's gibberish. So it is really gibberish. So they're saying, well, we have 70, 80, 81. Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that it really is gibberish. You know what? I would like to try this. I'd like to try to record an auctioneer and then slow it down and see just how much of it is gibberish and how much of it they're really, really saying just really, really fast. You might be right. You might be absolutely correct on that. It's possible. He says it's meant to sound like nothing to stress you into bidding. So it is to force you into bidding, or to get you, entice you into bidding. And that makes sense. Your brain is trying to decipher what this guy's saying and pricing. And Nano X Echo Z says, hola. Hola, right back at you. So you're watching me, you're coming from Twitch, you're watching me on YouTube down there. It's good to have you here. Good to have you here. Well, Admir Durakovic, stick around because we're going to give away a book here in just a few minutes. And I mean that because we're going to give away this book. I want to give away this book. I think we're done with it. We had one more. Okay, the National Lineman Appreciation Day. If you don't know what a lineman is someone who, you know how you see those power lines, the really, really big power lines that go across the highways and go off into the nether regions there, off into the horizon on those big steel supports. That they've got the power lines that connect cities to each other, that connect counties to each other, that connect in the rural areas to each other. The power lines, those power lines. The linemen are these guys that go up there. They go up there to do the repairs, to do the replacements of certain things of the actual power lines and the transformers and things like that. They go up there. Now, it's fascinating to watch. If you have a chance, and I highly recommend this, if you have a chance, and this is just me talking, I'm not, but I've seen a few of these. Go to YouTube or whatever where they're showing, okay, I don't mean to be pitching YouTube, but go to YouTube and check out some of these lineman videos where they take the helicopters, because that's how they have to do it. They've got to take these helicopters out there, and they are a couple hundred feet up in the air, 200 or 300 feet up in the air on some of these things. And they have to, the way they get out there is they have to, I'm not going to get a whole big thing about it, but it's these these got these linemen on the helicopter. You have this really crack helicopter pilot who really has to be good at what he's doing, because he has to keep that helicopter still, that chopper still, and right over the line, because this is extremely, extremely dangerous work. Now, some of these guys don't do it by helicopter. Some of these guys actually climb the poles and the towers to get there to do their line work, and it is harrowing work, but it's extremely dangerous work, because they have to make sure that they're grounded out so that they can touch these lines, because these are live power lines. Now, they'll have at certain intervals, they'll call in on a two-way radio, by the way. They'll call in on a radio and say, cut the power to this line for while I work on this. But sometimes they still have to work on it while the line is live, and they get up there on these helicopters or up there on the poles or the towers, and they have to work on this stuff, and they have to wear special suits that protect themselves from the power. I mean, we're talking about we're talking about gigawatts of power here, and huge amounts of amperage that could just fry them in a second, and they have to work on these things. These are the linemen. These are the guys that put their lives on the line every day to bring us power, to power the lights in this studio. It's amazing to watch. And if you get a chance, go to YouTube and look at some of these videos. It'll give you vertigo just watching the videos. I am serious. It'll give you vertigo just watching it. Some of this stuff is just harrowing stuff. It's amazing what these guys do. It really is. If you get a chance to watch it, it's really, really fascinating stuff to watch. You would just be amazed at just the fact that there are people out there that go out and do this every day, and it's just part of their job. It's part of their job. Just amazing to me. Anyway, so that is what a lineman is. And here's the National Lineman Appreciation Day, because I do appreciate our linemen. I couldn't do it. There's no way. You know what? I was working on the studio a few weeks ago, getting this prepped up for season 3 of the show. I couldn't get up there on a regular ladder. I had to buy I had to buy a stand to go over here and get up there to do it. And it was still, I'm getting vertigo because I don't like heights. I can't deal with heights. It's just amazing to watch these guys do what they're doing at just harrowing heights. And plus, the job is extremely dangerous. So I have a great appreciation for our linemen. Here's the National Lineman Appreciation Day. I will drink to that wholeheartedly. I think that does it for the national days, right? Once again, been drinking this Les Peyrautins Pinot Noir. It's a 2019. It's actually pretty good. I'm going to give my final review in just a few minutes, but I think we need to give away a book. Don't we need to give away a book? I'm going to give away a book to somebody. All right, do I have my mods in the chat? Tom Antio, CM Cinder, you've got mods in the chat. You can help me decide who is going to win the book tonight. Now, this is the book. I'm going to show you. Let me get this off, the platter off here. And let me put this up here for just a moment. So I can show you what we're giving away. Okay? What we're giving away tonight, and we've given away so much stuff in the past. What we're giving away tonight, this is a book called Infinite Giving, The 7 Principles of Giver's Gain. Now, I reviewed this a couple of weeks ago on the wine stream. You can go back. I'm not going to go through it again now, but you can go back and watch that episode or listen to it. Infinite Giving, The 7 Principles of Giver's Gain. This is by Ivan Misner, PhD, Greg Davies, and Julian Lewis. And now this is coming from the perspective of a leads group, a business leads group, or they're talking about, well, rather than going into a business leads group where you're looking to just get leads for your company or for your business, this is about going in on the premise that you're going to give to others without compensation, without the expectation that you're going to get something in return. Now, The thing is about this book is that even though it's sort of geared towards that leads business aspect of it, this book really isn't just about that. This talks about giving in our everyday lives. Now, this is an easy book to read. I read it in just a couple hours. It was an afternoon read, and I read through it quickly just before the wine stream that I came up and gave my review. I think these are really good principles. This is about how you can benefit, how you can profit, how you can get so much more in return by just giving. But not just giving, but giving with no expectation that you're going to get anything in return. And this also encompasses some of the principles of paying it forward. Now, you know the whole pay it forward thing. If you ever saw the movie Pay It Forward, or if you're familiar with the principle, that is about paying it forward to somebody else. Rather than, you get something good that you benefit from, you, instead of paying it back, you pay it forward to someone else. And then you kind of get that momentum going, and you keep that momentum going till it keeps going and other people benefit from it. And eventually, the theory here is eventually it all comes back to you. But you don't do it with the expectation that it's all going to come back to you. You do it with the expectation that, hey, I'm going to give this and let's do some good for people. And the more people that you can keep it going for and that can do good for, the better off everyone is. The thing is, though, the way this works is that in the end, it really does come back to you, and it comes back to you in multiple ways and multiple times over. And it's been proven time and time again that this works. It's been proven that this works. Infinite giving, you give. The old adage, give and you shall receive, and it works. You give to others, and give to them without expectation that you're going to get something back from them. But you just give and give and give forward, and you will find that you get back so much more in return in the end. And the thing is that's interesting about this is that a lot of the ways that you get things back are not the ways that you would expect. They're not the ways that you would expect to get things back at all. I think these are very good principles, they're very sound principles, and I think everybody should read this book. I think everyone should benefit from this book. And I'm going to start the ball rolling here by giving away a copy of Infinite Giving. And I really would like to give one of these away to someone in the chat tonight. And I'm going to have my mods help me out with that. Okay, so what do we have here going on tonight? Tommy Antio, CM Cinder, maybe you can help me out with this. Now, I know you're on Twitch, but we have folks on Facebook as well, and Ed's in the channel Facebook as well, and we have folks on YouTube. Admir Durakovic is on Facebook. Admir Durakovic, your contribution here tonight was really, really cool. I really appreciated that about the haikus. I actually have 2 copies of this book that I can give away. So I'll tell you what do you say, mods? Who say we can give one of these away to Admir Durakovic? You win one of these. I think that we can give you a copy of this. I think you would really appreciate this book. And since you study poetry, I think that this might be a fun book to read. And so I tell you what, Admir Durakovic, if you just send your shipping address, it can be a P.O. box, whatever, it's fine. Don't worry, it's going to be safe with me. Just send a shipping address to Rick at SavoyaMedia.com, Rick at SavoyaMedia.com, and I will send you a copy of this book, Infinite Giving, The Principles of Givers Gain. Now, that's not the only thing that I'm going to do here. I'm going to give away, because I'm in the mood to give stuff away tonight. I'm going to get in the mood to give, so I have another book to give away too. All right, we've done this a number of times before. I want to give away the 500 Plus Dad Jokes book. Funny, clean, corny, and just plain silly jokes. Now, I know there are folks on Twitch who have won this before. I know there are folks on Facebook who have won this before. We're going to give one of these away tonight too, because I have a couple copies here. So I'm going to give one away tonight. Tommy Antio, CM Sender, who there on Twitch would like to win a 500 plus dad jokes book. This is a fun book. It really is. By the way, I've got something for you guys. You know, my good friend, where am I here? My good friend Mike Dell, fellow podcaster, an old friend of mine. He posted something today that I saw. And it was one of those conundrums, right? And it sort of got me thinking, so I told it to CM Sender. Got her thinking, I guess. Actually, she rolled her eyes at me and goes, "Oh, Dad." After she left the room, I suppose. Okay, so here's something to think about. I'm going to leave you with this to think about tonight. All right. You know, we've been eating cheese, and I love cheese. And we didn't have any Swiss cheese tonight, but we do have Swiss cheese on occasion to drink with the wine. All right, so you know Swiss cheese has holes, right? Okay, the thing is, the more Swiss cheese you have, the more holes you have, right? The more Swiss cheese you have, the more holes you have. So that logically, that means the more holes you have, the less Swiss cheese you have. Makes sense, right? The more holes you have in the Swiss cheese, the less Swiss cheese you have. Makes sense. So what that means is the more Swiss cheese you have, the less Swiss cheese you have. Think about that for a second. Think about that. There's a conundrum. Ba-dum-bum. All right. I do want to remind everybody, before we give away this other book, I want to remind everyone that this is spring. There are a lot of storms coming around. You know where I'm going with this, right? A lot of storms going around. You know, I'm a big advocate because I'm a ham radio operator. I'm a GMRS radio operator. I have a lot of radios, and I work for a company that sells radios. And the thing is that I came from Florida, the lightning capital of the world. Some would disagree with that. Some would think that, well, my region is the lightning capital of the world, right? But where was it going with this? Oh, yeah. So with the weather, it doesn't really matter because the weather doesn't play favorites on where you are. The weather just does what the weather does. We had a 2.0 earthquake recorded last night or early this morning, I think, in some area in North Carolina. I'm trying to remember where it was right offhand. I don't remember. Well, 2.0 earthquake. Not a big thing, but some people felt it. And we've got spring storms coming around. We've had a few come by in the past couple of weeks. We have some areas that have been hit with a lot of storms. I want to encourage everyone to get a weather radio. Okay, that's where I'm going with this. Get a weather radio. Go to ready.gov, ready.gov. Put yourself together an emergency kit. Have it ready. Create a safe space where you know you can go in your home or apartment or wherever, dwelling or whatever it is, where you can go in case there's a tornado or something. Find a safe space where relatively safe to go to. And sometimes you only have seconds to react, so you got to get there quickly if you have one. Have an emergency plan ready. Have an emergency kit ready. And put an emergency weather radio in that kit, because in many cases, that's all you're going to have for communications. In some cases, a two-way radio. If you can, get a two-way radio as well. go to ready.gov. They've got instructions on how to put together an emergency kit. Then go to buy2airradios.com and get your weather radio at buy2airradios.com. That's buy2airradios.com. Get a weather radio there. They have all kinds of radios. They have weather radios, GMRS, FRS radios, CB radios, ham radios, business radios, MERS radios, all kinds of radios, airband and marine radios. They've got them all there. If you use the promo code WINESHOW, that's WINESHOW, WINESHOW. If you use the promo code WINESHOW at checkout, you can save 5% off your entire order. That's the entire order. Radios, accessories, everything off your entire order. Now, for full disclosure, I work for Buy2Air Radios. I am the product manager for Buy2Air Radios. I'm not making any extra for doing this. They're not paying me to do this promotion. They just gave me the promo code and say, hey, give it to your viewers and your listeners of Drink with Rick. And this is really just me doing this for you. I'm not getting paid extra for this, okay? Trust me. In fact, my company's making 5% less for doing this because we're giving you a 5% discount. But this is just for you, okay? For Drink with Rick and the Saturday Night Wine Stream. Wine Show, use the promo code. It's good stuff. And it'll work. It'll work. I've tested it myself. I've tested it myself on a couple of occasions. Okay, so I know it works. And it'll work for you. It works for me, it'll work for you. Okay, so that's what we got here. Let's close this up tonight with a couple of things. We're going to close it up with a summary. This is what we're drinking. We're drinking the Les Peyrautins. It is a Pinot Noir. It's a 2019 Pinot Noir from France. It is a French wine. Very good wine, actually. I haven't been drinking any of it for a while, so I'm having a little bit of it now. Okay, it's actually opened up a little bit, so it's tasting pretty good. Actually, now it's opened up a little bit more. This wine goes pretty well with everything that we tried it with. Let me try to put it back on camera 3 and move the dad joke book out of the way. It went really well with the steak that my wife Chi made. It went really well with this barbecue beef that I tried from the Q Shack in Charlotte. This beef brisket went really well with the sausage, the smoked beef sausage. It also went really well with the cheddar cheese, all the cheeses actually. The cheddar cheese, this was the Toscano with creamy coastal Syrah wine in it. And also the Dubliner cheese from Ireland that went really well with. So I was impressed with it. Now I did not taste it with the, okay, yeah, I know, got to try it with that. All right, let's test it with this. Let's try it. I should not be eating any of this, but I'm going to try. Just a little bit. I'm probably going to eat the rest of it later. Probably. I shouldn't. My wife, she made this. She was baking. I could smell her. She was baking it while I was doing show prep. There's a chocolate cupcake. I think with their own homemade ice cream. Icing. Not ice cream. Icing. Ooh. Whoa. Sugar Rush. Whoa, that was good. Sugar Rush. And it went really well with this Pinot Noir, which was not unexpected. It was a very good cupcake. Yeah, I'm going to have to finish this. I have to finish this. Okay. After the show. So anyway, I think that concludes the show tonight. It went really well with everything. I really like this wine. It's a really good wine. I highly recommend it. Les Peyrautins. I paid $12.99 for it at winestore-online.com. They'll ship to a lot of places in the U.S. By the way, I'm not a shill for them. I just like the folks there. They've been really good to me, and I just like shopping there. It's winestore-online.com. It's not a paid promotion, although I wouldn't complain if it was. All right, it's time to close it up here. It's way past our bedtime, right? So anyway, I want to thank everybody in the chat, and we're going to give away one more book. Let's give away one more book real quick. Who in the chat has not won a book yet? Let's see. I want to give away one more here. Anybody anything from the mods? XVM04. You're in England, right? I don't know if I can ship to England. Nano, I'm not sure where you are, but if you're not in the U.S., I don't know if I can ship there, to be honest. So, to be honest, I'm not sure if you're in an area where I can ship to. Let's see. Let me know if you're in the U.S. or somewhere I can ship to, then I can ship to you. But if not, then I might have to wait until next week to give this away. Nano says K. What? Okay, what the book is. I'd like to give away a book here. The dad jokes. 500 plus dad jokes. Let me put it back in front of the camera again. 500 plus dad jokes. Funny, clean, corny, and just plain silly jokes. This is a fun book. A lot of folks on Twitch have won one already, and a couple people on Facebook have won one. I got a couple more copies of this to give away. Ed, I think you won one, didn't you? Somebody won one. I don't remember. I know you won something. Oh, you won the Start Ugly book, yeah. So let me know. Anyway, yeah, I don't know if I can ship to England. I don't know if I can ship to. I'm not sure where Nano is located. But let me know if you're in the States. I can ship there pretty easily. I might be able to ship it to England. I'll have to check on that. Let me check on that. So we'll know for next week. So maybe we'll give one away. Maybe we'll give one away next week. Once I get that checked, I got to get that checked. All right. Anyway, so this is what we have for tonight. I really appreciate you being here with me tonight. I want to thank everybody who joined me here tonight. I want to thank everyone on Twitch. I want to thank Beast on Gaming. Thank you for being here tonight. CM Cinder. XX Yarmaj says thank you for being here. And Nano, X Echo ZZ, thank you for being here as well. Tom Antio. And XVM04, thank you very much. I do really appreciate your presence here tonight. I really do. And Admira Durakovic, thank you for being here tonight, for visiting on YouTube. And everyone who joined me on Facebook, including my good friend Ed and my lovely wife Chi and everybody else who I couldn't see on Facebook for some reason or another. I cannot see some of these chats. I know there are folks watching, and I can't really see what's going on in the chats, but thank you for being here anyway. It is much appreciated. I do appreciate each and every one of you. I want to remind you, please, as you already know, please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, wherever you are. Call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a cab if you have to. Call a good friend who has not been drinking also to take you home. Just stay where you are. Do not drink and drive. Very, very important. You know how I mentioned earlier how sensitive I am to that. Do not text and drive because it's also not a good thing. Okay? Because I want you all to have a great week, but most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can all join me here again next week for the Saturday Night Wine Stream, and we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.